Sir, very happy evening to all. Sir, we are going to start with a very important topic for whether it is May examination or September examination or Jan examination. The first compulsory question from IDT computation of Gst Payable. Sir, we'll start with very base and small question to teach you how this question has to be attended in examination. We will be doing with a specific format, my dear lovable students. But even this question is also a past examination question, May 19 question. Mr. Himanshu, a registered supplier of chemicals. Yes, he would have taken registration either under section 22, that is a person liable for registration, and section 24, compulsory registration. Pays GST under the regular scheme. As we all know that there are two routes are there, either section 9 route or section 10 route. Section 9 route is talking about the regular route and section 10 route is the composition route. This guy is traveling through the regular scheme. Sir, if a registered person is traveling through the regular scheme, he has to collect output tax and whatever tax he has paid can be taken as ITC. He is not eligible for any threshold exemption. In the sense means he has crossed the threshold exemption of 10 lakh or 20 lakh or 40 lakh as the case may be. That means whatever amount has been given here, it will be fully taxable. He has made the following outward taxable supply for the month of September, my dear lovable students, 2018. Intra-state supply of goods, 25 lakhs. For this 25 lakh, since the supply is intra-state, you are supposed to collect CGST and SGST. Interstate supply of goods, 5 lakh. Sir, since the supply is interstate, you are supposed to collect IGST. He has also made the following inward supply. Inward supply means purchases. Intra-state purchase of goods from registered dealer. Since a supplier is a registered dealer, supplier would have collected GST that can be taken as ITC. Since the supply is an intra-state supply, CGST and SGST would have been paid. What is the value of purchases? 14 lakh. Intra-state purchase of goods from unregistered dealer. Since the purchases has been done from an unregistered dealer, the supplier would not have collected any tax. So there is no question of ITC at all. Interstate purchase of goods from the registered dealer. Since the supplier is a registered person, supplier would have collected GST. Since the supply is an interstate supply, my dear lovable students, IGST would have been collected. So my credit will be IGST, balance of ITC at the beginning of the September. So when you see September month ka starting GST, CGST, SGST and IGST, 95,000, 60,000 and 50,000. These are the additional information. He has purchased a car. Generally, as we all know that car is a blocked credit under 17 subsection 5. Intra-state supply. Used for business purpose at a price of 6,72,000, including CGST 36,000. SGST 36,000 on September 15, 2018. He capitalized the full value including GST in the books of same date to claim depreciation. That's better, my dear lovable students, because car is a blocked credit. At the time of purchase of car, the seller of the car will be collecting GST from us. That GST cannot be taken as ITC because it is blocked as per 17 subsection 5. Hence, it is better to include the tax amount also in the value of the car and better to claim depreciation under section 32. So, there is no ITC for this item. Out of interstate purchases from registered dealer, goods worth rupees 1 lakh were received only on October due to road traffic jam. My dear lovable students, we are going to calculate the GST payable for the month of September. That means in the month of September, 1 lakh rupees worth goods has not been received. Sir, if you are receiving goods as lot or installment, ITC can be availed only in receipt of the last lot of installment. That means for this 1 lakh, since it has been received in October, we can take ITC only in the month of October. What is the difference between first point and second point? First point, lifetime, we can't take ITC because it's a blocked credit. For the second point, we can't take ITC now, but we can ITC in the next month. We can take ITC in the next month. Rate of CGST, SGST, IGST, CGST 9, SGST 9, automatically IGST will be 18%. Both inward and outward supply given above are exclusive of taxes wherever applicable. That means all the above figures are only value of supply. It is not including taxes. All conditions necessary for availing ITC have been fulfilled except mentioned above, because as per 16 subsection 2, in order to take ITC, we are supposed to satisfy certain conditions. Compute the net CGST, SGST, IGST payable in cash by Mr. Himanshu for the month of September 2018. You know, don't be ignorant to get that 10 mark in examination, because we know everything. We have studied everything from supply till the return filing we studied. Sir, if entire GST has to be asked in one question, that's what computation of GST payable. That too, we have made a super fantastic, outstanding format to solve that, sir, 10 mark question. My dear lovable students, step number 1 is sales details. Step number 1 is your sales details. As a registered person, your sales details, because when you make sales, you are supposed to collect output tax. You are supposed to collect output tax. By doing this step number 1, you will be getting output tax collected. Step number 2 is purchase details. That means raw material details or the capital goods. We will be purchasing raw material and capital goods, my dear lovable students. So raw material details and capital goods details. That's what it should come in the purchase details. Step number 3 is expenses details. We will be incurring certain expenses. For example, I may pay advertisement. At the time of making payment for advertisement, the supplier of the advertisement services may collect GST from me. That can be taken as ITC, because advertisement is in the course or furtherance of business. So my dear lovable students, I will be having expenses. That expenses I can write in step number 3. And step number 4 is net ITC. Net ITC. I will be having already opening ITC. Last month closing ITC is the opening ITC. And when I am purchasing raw material and capital goods, I would have paid GST. That's what add ITC on purchases. On my expenses, I would have paid, sir, GST. That's what add ITC on expenses. Then last step, step number 5 is what GST payable, which is nothing but output tax collected minus ITC. Output tax collected you will be getting in step number 1. And ITC you will be getting in step number 4. There we have to see the rules of set off. We know that first IGST credit has to be knocked off. Am I right, sir? That's what, man. In that manner we have to see, and we have to write sufficient notes in the examination, which is explaining why are you taking and why you are not taking. Let me come to one by one. What is, sir, step number 1? Sales details. Sales details. Sir, sales details will give you the output tax collected. Am I right, sir? You know, majority of the students are ignoring this area. In the sense means, sir, computation of GST payable they are ignoring. The reason why they are ignoring major, because they don't know the full GST. We have to spend our time, then out of 10 mark, if possible 10 out of 10 we can get. At least 7+ mark can easily be scored from this area. To score that 7+ mark, you have to do only one thing, my dear lovable students. You have to spend your time. You have to spend your time. Step number 1 is sales details. Step number 2 is purchase details. Step number 3 is expense details. Step number 4 is net ITC. And step number 5 is tax payable. We are going to spend our time here and we are going to get 10 out of 10. Are you all really with me? Come on, man. What is step number 1? Sales details. They themselves given how much is the outward supply. There are 2 outward supplies are there. Intra-stage supply and interstage supply. Look at step number 1 is sales details. Intra-state outward supply of goods. You have to help me with the figures. What is the value of supply of, sir, intra-state outward supply? 25 lakh. For this 25 lakh, what tax should be collected? CGST at 9% and SGST at 9%. Am I right, sir? Everyone take your calculator and feel the number. 25 lakhs into 9% comes to 2,25,000 CGST and 2,25,000 SGST. Since the supply is an intra-state supply, no IGST will be collected. Am I right, sir? That's it. Interstate supply of goods. If we make interstate outward supply on the value of supply of 5 lakh, we are supposed to collect what, man? IGST at the rate of how much percent? So IGST at the rate of 18% comes to 90,000. So tell me what is the total value of supply? 30 lakh. On that 30 lakh, we have collected CGST of 2,25,000. SGST of 2,25,000. Total IGST of 90,000. That's it. Step number 1 comes to an end. Come on, man. Step number 2 is purchases. Sir, these are the inward supply detail. They themselves given. This is intra-state purchase. That means CGST and SGST would have been paid. Since this is from unregistered person, we would have not paid any tax. Since this is from registered person, IGST would have been paid. So I have to copy paste that. Intra-state purchased of goods from registered dealer. How much value, man? 14 lakh. Then at the time of purchases, we would have paid CGST at the rate of 9%. So my dear lovable students, 14 lakhs into 9% comes to 1,26,000. The same 1,26,000 we would have paid as SGST. But no IGST would have been paid because purchases are intra-state purchases. The second purchases are again intra-state purchases, but it is from unregistered person. Unregistered person should not collect any tax. So intra-state purchase of goods from, my dear lovable students, unregistered person. Since it is from unregistered person, sir, the supplier would not have collected any tax from us. Number 3, sir, interstate purchase of goods from a registered person. Then that registered person would have collected what? IGST from us. What is the value? 4 lakh. That means interstate purchase of goods from a registered dealer. The value is how much lakhs? 4 lakhs, my dear lovable students. So 4 lakhs into how much you would have paid? 18%. So 4 lakh into 18% comes to 72,000 would have been the GST we would have been paid. Are you all really with me? So my dear lovable students, sir, 14 plus 3 plus 2 lakh comes to he also made the following inward supply. Intra-state purchase of goods from registered dealer 14 lakhs. So for this 14 lakh, CGST of 9% and SGST of 9% would have been paid. Am I right, sir? Then, sir, number 2, intra-state purchase of goods from unregistered dealer is how much lakh? 2 lakh. Since it is from unregistered dealer, no tax we would have not paid. Sir, interstate purchase of goods from registered dealer, sir, how much lakh? 4 lakh. Can I make this to 3 lakh? Yes, sir. Okay, sir. The total is how much lakh? 4 lakh. But we are having an additional information that out of interstate purchases, that means we have to take from here. Out of interstate purchases from what dealer? Registered dealer. So they are talking about point number 3. If I collect tax for entire 4 lakh, I will be falling in 72,000, which is a mistake. Sir, there is a note attached to that point, sir. Out of this 4 lakh, 1 lakh rupees goods have been received only in the month of October. We are calculating the GST liability for September. If that is the case, my dear lovable students, sir, out of how much lakh? 4 lakh, we have to reduce 1 lakh. Only for 3 lakh, we are entitled to claim ITC in the month of September. So come on, 3 lakhs into 18% comes to 54,000 is the eligible ITC. Here itself you write only eligible ITC. And in note yours, you have to say that 1 lakh rupees are ineligible. Otherwise, if you write 4 lakh into 18% here, when we do the net GST payable, we will be going wrong, my dear lovable students. So 19 lakhs is the total purchases. Out of that, 1,26,000 CGST eligible, 1,26,000 SGST eligible, and 54,000 IGST eligible. In this particular question, there is no expenses. So step number 3, expense details, I will just put it as -1. One expense is there, which is car expenses, which is a VAT credit. As per 17 subsection 5, purchase of car used for business purpose, nothing is there. I have to put a dash. Actually, I have paid GST, but I am not entitled to claim ITC. That's it with regard to step number 4. What is step number 5? Net ITC. Net ITC means opening ITC. What are the opening ITC? Brought forward ITC. CGST 95,000. SGST 60,000. IGST 50,000. And ITC on purchases, which will be available in step number 2. What is that? 1 lakh 26, 1 lakh 26, 54,000. These are the eligible ITC. Actually, sir, this is not 54,000. This is actually 4 lakh into 18%. But out of that 4 lakh, 1 lakh rupees goods has not been received during our month. So even though I have paid, since a condition has not been satisfied, I am not entitled to claim ITC for 1 month during the current year. So in format itself, when you are writing, only write the eligible ITC. So my dear lovable students, add ITC on expenses. Yes, you have purchased car. But as per 17 subsection 5, car is a blocked credit. You are not entitled to take the CGST. So 95,000 plus 1,26,000 comes to 2,21,000 is the total CGST available. 60,000 plus 1,26,000 comes to 1,86,000 is the total SGST available. 50,000 plus 54,000 comes to 1,04,000. Now I can happily move into step number 5, GST payable. Sir, my GST payable will be as per step number 1. What is step number 1? Sales details. Because when I make sales, I will be getting output tax. So 2,25,000. 2,25,000, 90,000 is my, sir, output tax. 2,25,000, 2,25,000, 90,000. Sir, I am having CGST credit. I am having SGST credit. And even I am having IGST credit. As we all know that, always first knock off the IGST credit. IGST credit should be knock off against IGST payable. Is there any IGST payable? Yes, sir. To the extent of, so from 1,04,000, you utilize 90,000 against IGST payable. So 1,04,000 minus 90,000 means still you will be having 14,000 and IGST payable will become 0. So still I am having IGST credit of 14,000 are there. That can be set off either against CGST payable or SGST payable in any manner, any proportion, any manner. If I want, I can claim 7,000, 7,000. If I want, I can claim entire 14,000 against SGST payable. Or if I want, I can claim, sir, CGST. That's what? Less ITC. First ITC of IGST should be utilized in full. That is first against IGST liability. And then against CGST and SGST in a manner to minimize the cash outflow. Even though the act is saying that in any manner, any proportion, always we have to favor to the assessee. Am I right, sir? That's better. In the sense means, my dear lovable students, I am having still 14,000 rupees of IGST. I have claimed 10,000 rupees against SGST and 4,000 rupees against what? CGST. So, by this way, 14,000 has been knocked off. Now, how much is the IGST credit balance become 0? So 1,04,000 rupees was the IGST credit. I have knocked off 90,000 rupees against IGST payable. I have knocked off 10,000 rupees against SGST payable. I have knocked off 4,000 rupees against CGST payable. That's it. IGST credit has been exhausted. After exhausting the IGST credit, GST eligible for CGST and SGST set off are from 2,25,000. If you knock off 4,000, how much getting? 2,21,000 is the amount payable to central government. Is the amount payable to central government. Sir, from 2,25,000, if you reduce 10,000, you will be getting 2,15,000. That is the amount payable to state government. Sir, no amount I am liable to be paid to central and state government. Still, sir, central government is liable to pay me 2,21,000. My money is available with central government 2,25,000. So against this 2,25,000, I can happily knock off that 2,21,000 and I will never pay anything to central government. I love my state government in the state in which I am staying. Sir, 2,15,000 is the amount payable to my state government. My state, sir, is liable to pay me 1,86,000. So I can happily knock off that 1,86,000. I know that still 29,000 is payable. This 29,000 I will not pay to the central government. I will pay to my state government. Let my state develop. Sir, central government is also saying that we don't have any problem because we also are supposed to pay something to you. You also are supposed to pay something to us. We can knock off each other. If any payable, you pay to your own state. Let the state develop. We don't have any problem. Otherwise, also, if the money go to the central government, state government is complaining here that we are not getting money from the central. Hello, sir. So that's why this 29,000 we will pay to our state government. In exam, you have to write note like this. I will not read all the notes. Since this question is question number 1, I will be reading. Every registered person is entitled to take ITC on any inward supply of goods used or intended to be used in the course or furtherance of his business. Intra-state supply received by registered person from any unregistered person are exempted from whole of the tax leviable thereon under reverse charge till 39/2019. Since no tax has been paid, no credit is available. ITC on capital goods cannot be availed as ITC if depreciation has been claimed on such tax component. There is one point. If depreciation claimed on tax component, then there is no ITC. Adu mattu illa. ITC on motor vehicle is blocked under 17 subsection 5. That is also one of the reason. Registered person is entitled to avail ITC in respect of any supply of goods to him only if has actually received the goods. Since the goods worth rupees 1 lakh has not been received by Mr. Himanshu in which month? It will be received in the month of October. So you can take credit in the month of October. ITC of IGST has been used to pay IGST, CGST, SGST in that order, my dear lovable students. That's what question number 1. This is what we are going to get for the first 10 mark in examination. That means we have to spend, my dear lovable students. S stands for sales details. The sales details will give us outward supply. P stands for purchase details. This purchase details will give us ITC, our ITC for the current month. Sir, E stands for expenses details. Even this expenses details will give us the ITC for the current month from expenses. Net ITC, which is nothing but opening ITC plus purchase ITC plus expenses ITC. Last one, tax payable, which is output tax collected minus ITC. You will get the net tax payable. This is what the abbreviations of spent. You do it like this in examination, you will be getting 10 mark. My dear lovable students, those who are listening to this video, question number 1. I don't want you to proceed question number 2 without doing this. You have to, keep your alarm for 10 minutes. Redo question number 1 by your own within 10 minutes. And continue for question number 2. Yes, sir. I believe that you would have solved question number 1 by your own. And I'm moving into illustration number 2. A very good question. There will be slight change in format. Steps are 5 steps only. But here and there some slight tinkering will be done. Why? I will tell you. Miss Nitya, proprietor of Mrs. Honest Enterprises. Always you should see who is the assessee. This assessee is an individual, a registered supplier of taxable goods and services. In the last question, only goods was there. In this question, goods is there. And also, if both goods and service are there, different rate for goods you have to take and different rate for services you have to take. If you take ulta pulta, answer will be ulta pulta. In the state of West Bengal, every data is important. She is situated in West Bengal. Pays GST under regular scheme. Again, that is also important. There is no composition scheme. That means whenever she's made outward supply, she is supposed to collect output tax. Whenever she purchases, she will pay GST that can be taken as ITs. It is not eligible for any threshold exemption. Super. All the basic details we have taken. It provides the following information for the month of December. That means we are going to calculate the GST liability for the month of December. Like last month, we may get a big hit. Fine. Outward supply details. Intra-state supply of goods. Super. I hope that you would have highlighted goods. To Mrs. Natural and Sons, that is irrelevant. 7 lakh. On that output tax we are supposed to be collected CGST and SGST. Intra-state transfer of goods to its branch office in the state of West Bengal itself. That means the head office is situated in West Bengal. Even the branch is also situated in West Bengal. Both places are under the same GSTIN. Then it is just a additional place of business only. It is not a distinct person. Only if the supply is between distinct person, then only, even though there is no consideration, it should be treated as deemed supply. There are 4 activities or transaction which will be treated as deemed supply, even though there is no consideration. Permanent transfer or disposal of business asset where ITC has been availed. Supply of goods or services or both between related person or distinct person made in the course or furtherance of business. Sir, importation of services without consideration. And the next one, principal, supply of goods between principal and agent. That's what trip condition. There are 4 things. Provided interstate supply of sponsorship services to XYZ Limited of Chennai. Indirectly, they are checking whether you are aware of the RCM or not. Reverse charge mechanism. Sponsorship. Right. Permanent transfer of old computer to orphanage home without consideration. Permanent transfer or disposal of business asset where ITC has been availed. But that is not important. ITC was not availed on the same. ITC has been availed, but ITC has not been availed. Then this will not be treated as deemed supply. Am I right, sir? Advance received future supply of management consultancy services. Sir, if you are getting any advance on goods, you pay GST on invoice basis. But if you are getting any, sir, advances for services, sir, you have to pay GST on the receipt basis. Notification number 66/2017 will not be applicable for services, will be applicable only for goods. I believe that you are able to appreciate. These are your inward supply intrastate. Purchase of taxable goods from registered suppliers. Then registered suppliers would have collected GST, man. These are inward supply. Fine, sir. Availed works contract service for repair of office building. Generally, works contract service are blocked credit. Generally, works contract service are blocked credit. But that amount of repair was debited in the P&L account. That means it's a revenue repair. Sir, for revenue repair, we can take ITC. Whereas for the capital repair, we can't take ITC. For capital repair, only depreciation is allowed. Availed legal services from an advocate. Wow. Sir, availed legal services means RCM. This is inward RCM and this is outward RCM. There is a difference. Inward RCM means we are the person who are liable to pay tax. Outward RCM means recipient is a person who are liable to pay tax. Availed legal service from an advocate to represent the matter in the court relating to collection of disputed proceeds from the customer. We are liable to pay tax on reverse charge basis. Rate of CGST, SGST, IGST on all supplies are as below. Goods, this is the rate 2.5, 2.55. Services 9, 9, 18. That is why even we ANM classes are also collecting fees plus GST of 18%. Because services, it's a little high rate than goods. Both inward and outward supplies given above are exclusive of taxes. All the conditions necessary for availing the ITC have been fulfilled. Working note should form part of your answer. Aggregate turnover of Mrs. Honest Enterprises in the preceding financial year exceeds threshold limit for registration. They are talking about an exemption point. Sir, if the legal services has been provided by an individual advocate or group of advocate, including a senior advocate, to a business entity whose turnover in the immediately preceding previous year does not exceed threshold limit for registration, are exempt from GST. But they are specifically highlighting that Mrs. Honest Enterprises turnover in the immediately preceding previous year exceeds threshold limit. Exceeds threshold limit means if this guy has received legal services, my dear lovable students, they are liable to pay tax on reverse charge basis. Compute the net minimum GST payable in cash by Mrs. Honest Enterprises for the month of December 2022 is the question. We are going to follow what analysis? Spend analysis. S stands for sales details. P stands for purchase details. E stands for expenses details. Then, sir, N stands for net ITC. And the last one, tax payable. Am I right, sir? T stands for tax payable. Come on, man. Be very specific. I will highlight the nook and corners of the question where you will go wrong. Step number 1, sales details. Intra-state supply of goods. Be specific with the question. Goods. Am I right, sir? For goods, what is the intra-state outward supply? 7 lakh. For this 7 lakh, we are supposed to collect output tax. What is the rate for goods, my dear lovable students? 2.5% CGST. 2.5% SGST, 5% IGST. Is it intrastate or interstate? Intrastate. Then 2.5%. Come on. 7 lakhs into 2.5% comes to 17,500 and 17,500. There is a high chance that students will write CGST at the rate of 2.5%, SGST at the rate of 2.5%. Don't write, because inside the table even service will also come. Then even for service also you will apply 2.5% without you knowing. That is why in the last question only goods was there. So the heading comprised of rate. This question goods and service are there. There is why it is just CGST, SGST and IGST. Good taking, sir. Point number 1 clear, sir. Number 2, my dear lovable students, the second outward supply is intra-state transfer of goods to its own branch office. Head office are situated in West Bengal. Even branch office are also situated in West Bengal. Since both places are situated in the same state and both are having the same GSTIN, they are principal place of business and additional place of business. They are not distinct person. Only if the supply of goods between related person or distinct person, without consideration, for that only, sir, you are liable to pay GST. That means intra-state transfer of goods to its what office? Branch office in the state of West Bengal. Both having same GSTIN, not a supply, as branch office is also in West Bengal. They are not what person. So in value of supply, you just write, man, there is no CGST liability, there is no SGST liability, there is no IGST liability. Second point also comes to an end. Come on. Provided interstate supply of sponsorship services to XYZ Limited of Chennai. So who is the service provider? Sir, Miss Nitya is the service provider. Nitya provided sponsorship services to XYZ Limited of Chennai. What is the sponsorship services provision? Can we just go back to our material and recall? With regard to sponsorship services, man, the supplier should be any person other than body corporate. Is Nitya body corporate? No, Nitya is an individual. That means Pakka service provider. Sir, since Nitya is any person other than body corporate, the service provider is weak. Then you have to see the service recipient. If the service recipient are any body corporate or partnership firm located in the taxable territory, then located in the taxable territory person is the person who are liable to pay GST on what charge basis. Now you read it that line, sir, provided. Who provided? Nitya provided. Is Nitya a body corporate? No, sir. Interstate supply of sponsorship services to XYZ Limited of Chennai. My question to you, is this outward RCM or inward RCM? Outward RCM. Then it is a responsibility of the XYZ Limited Chennai to pay tax on reverse charge basis. So interstate supply of sponsorship services is provided to a body corporate. Tax on the same is payable by the recipient. So XYZ Limited of Chennai covered under RCM, that is payable by XYZ Limited. We don't have any output tax liability. We are the service provider. Service recipient is a body corporate. Since a body corporate has received sponsorship services, they are liable to pay tax on reverse charge basis. Let them pay. Let them pay. This is outward RCM. This is not inward RCM. Are you comfortable? Permanent transfer of old computer to orphanage home without consideration. Every student will think that permanent transfer or disposal of business asset, that is not the matter. Where ITC has been availed. ITC was not availed on the same. Then my dear lovable students, there is no output tax liability at all. Permanent transfer of old computer to old age home without consideration. There is no output tax liability. Fourth point also comes to an end. Advance received. Future supply of management consultancy service. We are supposed to provide the service in future. That means the advance has not been received for goods. Advance has been received for services. As we all know that the time of supply, sir, if you are getting advance, date of invoice or date of payment, whichever is earlier, even though we have not raised the invoice, since this is for services, we are liable to pay GST on receipt basis for this 40,000. Goods are services are. Don't apply 2.5% rate, my dear lovable students. Advance receipt for future supply of management consultancy services. Services with reference to, sir, services, advance will be taxable. So 40,000 into how much percent? 9% and 9%. How much? 3,600 and 3,600. This 3,600 we are supposed to be paid from our pocket, because this 40,000 include this 3,600 and this 3,600. So according to us, for this month, the total output tax collected will be 17,500 plus 3,600 comes to 21,100. And here also 17,500 plus 3,600 comes to 21,100. In our outward supply, there is no interstate outward supply. There is no interstate outward supply. There is interstate outward supply, but for which we are not the person who are liable to pay tax. It is a RCM outward or outward RCM, not an inward RCM. Happily, we have completed step number 1. I'm moving into step number 2, that is purchase details. Sir, purchases table, they themselves given. Purchase of taxable goods from registered supplier. Goods, how much lakh? 8 lakh. For this, the supplier would have collected GST from us. That can be taken as what, man? ITC. That's what purchase of taxable goods. How much percent? 2.5 percentage. So, my dear lovable students, tell me 8 lakh into 2.5 percentage comes to 20,000 CGST we would have paid. 20,000 SGST we would have paid. That's it. That point comes to an end. Availed work contract service. You tell me, is work contract service purchases or expenses? Expenses. Because we have done repair expenses, Kanna. That repair, sir, we have to write in the expense column. In exam, if you write, sir, in purchase column instead of expense column or expense column instead of purchase column, don't worry about, don't stress, because that is an internal format which I have given to you. So, according to me, repair is an expenses. What is the provision for repair? With regard to repair, my dear lovable students, if the repair has been debited to P&L account, ITC is eligible. If repair has been capitalized, ITC is not eligible. That means for this 30,000, since we availed means it's an inward supply. Am I right, sir? Sir, and this amount has been debited in the P&L account. Since this is services, for that 30,000, they would have collected GST at the rate of 9%. So, works contract service for repair of office building and amount of repair is debited to P&L account services. ITC with reference to works contract service can be availed if the same is debited to P&L account. So this 2,700 would have been collected by the supplier. That can be happily can be taken as what? ITC. Come on, man. Availed legal services from an advocate. From an advocate, that means legal services. Legal services can be either provided by arbitral tribunal or individual advocate or group of advocate other than senior advocate or by a senior advocate. To represent the matter in the court relating to collection of disputed proceed from customer. This is not personal case. This is business related case. If service has been provided by an individual advocate to a business entity whose turnover in the immediately preceding previous year does not exceed threshold limit is exempted. That's why the last point is saying that this honest enterprises turnover in the immediately preceding previous year exceed threshold limit for registration. That means it is liable for what? RCM. Is this RCM inward RCM or outward RCM? Inward RCM. Can we quickly recall what are the RCM legal services? Sir, if legal services has been provided by an individual advocate or group of advocate, including senior advocate, sir, that means who's the service provider? Service provided by way of legal services, either directly or who are the suppliers? An individual advocate, including a senior advocate or a firm of advocate, to a business entity located in the taxable territory. Then business entity located in the taxable territory is the person who are liable to pay tax on. That means in this case, sir, service provider is advocate. We are the service recipient. We are a business entity. Our turnover in the immediately preceding previous year exceed threshold limit. That means it is not exempted. This is dash RCM, inward RCM. So legal services from advocate to represent the matter in the court relating to collection of disputed proceeds from customer. Services. This is services. So ITC with a reference to inward RCM supply can be availed. How much percent? 9%. What is the amount, man? 50,000. So 50,000 into 9%, 4,500. And the same 4,500. So 7,200 rupees will be the CGST. And 7,200 rupees will be the SGST. Are you able to appreciate? In this particular question, they have not mentioned anything about the opening ITC. If nothing is there, dash, dash, dash. And ITC on purchases. Look at here, man. This is the ITC on purchases. 21,100 and 21,100. Sir, ITC on purchases 21,100 and 21,100, which comprises of Purchases 20,000 and 20,000 and 20,000. Add ITC on expenses 7,200 and 7,200. Total ITC will be 27,200 and 27,200. Comfortable? Now step number 5. You have to be very careful, very careful regarding this step. I will tell you logic why. For that only I am explaining this much. In payment of tax chapter, we have studied that 3 ledgers are there. Number 1, electronic cash ledger is there, electronic credit ledger is there, electronic liability ledger is there. When we purchase, we will pay GST. At the time of purchase, we will pay whatever GST we have paid at the time of purchases will go and sit in the electronic credit ledger. Electronic credit ledger. Sir, if any balance available in electronic cash ledger can be used to pay tip 4. Sir, tax, interest, penalty, fee or any other similar sum payable. Whereas any balance available in electronic credit ledger can be utilized only for tax. What tax? Output tax. What tax? Output tax. Sir, RCM is not output tax. That means if you are having any RCM liability, that has to be paid through the electronic cash ledger. So now the game starts. You will enjoy that. Sir, GST payable. This will be available in step number 1. Sir, look at step number 1. Tell me, what is step number 1 total? 21,100 and 21,100. This is the output tax liability I am having because of my outward supply. And GST payable under RCM through electronic what ledger? This amount I can't pay through the electronic credit ledger. This amount mandatorily has to be paid through electronic cash ledger. So 4,500 and 4,500. So my total liability which will be debited in the electronic liability ledger will be 25,600 and 25,600. Able to appreciate? But this entire 25,600 cannot be knocked off against the ITC available because ITC will be available in electronic credit ledger. Whatever balance you are having can be utilized only for payment of what tax? Output tax, which is only this 21,100 and 21,100. So, out of this 25,600, 4,500 and 4,500 should be paid off through the electronic. For that reason, I am reducing less GST payable through electronic cash ledger 4,500 and 4,500. It's a loose summary you are adding and you are lessing. Instead of that, you can skip the data. Yes, then examiner also skip 2 marks from that. Nothing less, nothing more. Because, my dear lovable students, here the purpose of showing this 25,600 is, this is the total amount payable to the GST department. This will be debited in the electronic liability ledger. Out of 25,600, 4,500 cannot be paid through electronic credit ledger. So, 21,100 can only eligible for ITC set off. How much ITC I am having? 20,000 and 20,000 ITC I am having. And 2,700 and 2,700 I am having. That means 27,200 and 27,200 I am having. Let me ask you first question. Whether I am having IGST credit? No. Whether I am having IGST payable? No. So I have to deal only with the CGST credit with the CGST payable and SGST credit with the... I am having 27,700 and 27,700 less ITC against CGST and SGST liability in a manner to minimize the cash outflow. Even though my payable is 21,100, I am having credit of 27,200. Even though my payable is 21,100, I am having credit of 27,200. Sir, extra 6,100 is there. This I can carry forward. This I can. When I carry forward, next month when I do the question, here brought forward ITC in that column that will come. Oh, super fantastic to the core. Sir, so GST payable after ITC set off is nil. Nil. That means whatever GST you are liable to be paid. I have used the money available in the electronic what ledger? Credit ledger. But I am having what RCM? Inward RCM. For inward RCM, I am liable to pay GST through my electronic cash ledger add because you have reduced something. Sir, GST payable under RCM through electronic cash ledger 4,500 and 4,500. This 4,500 and this 4,500 you should pay through electronic cash ledger. What a beautiful question and what a beautiful way to solve this, my dear lovable students. Other people will be searching of where to go, where to put the data. Sir, I am logically explaining to you. I just want only one thing. I have made a 5-step approach called as spend. Yes, we have to spend our time in this. S stands for sales details. P stands for purchase details. E stands for expense details. N stands for net ITC. And T stands for tax payable, net tax payable. You have to set a 10 to 12 minutes of time for question number 2. Pause the video and do that question. Then you come to question number 3, means automatically the burden of that 10 mark, sir, will come down and we can ensure that you are getting that 10 mark. Yes, sir, I believe that you would have done question number 2 and I'm moving into question number 3. Little technical, good logical question according to me. There is a high chance that students may feel the question as difficult, but after exam, if answer key if that student sees means, why have not thought in that angle? Why have, sir, think in that angle? They will think. Gino Enterprises, a partnership firm. Always understand who the assessee is. Partnership firm. Is a regular taxpayer. Yes, is not a composition dealer. Registered in Guwahati, Assam. Basically, they are in Assam. And engage in supply of AC and its accessories as well as AC repairing services. That means they are selling AC plus AC repairing, my dear lovable students. So both goods and services they are dealing. Different rates will come. We have already studied. Details of their various activities for the month of October are as follows. So we are going to deal for the month of October. Any data before the month and after the month, we have to put it on dustbin if it is irrelevant. Intra-state supply of AC. That means they have done outward supply, which are intra-state. To customer in Assam. Yes, since they are situated in Assam, in order to be intra-state, they should supply to Assam only. Freight is separately charged in invoice for delivery of goods at the customer's doorstep. Sir, my dear lovable students, if I sell AC, AC will not walk and go to the customer place. Am I right, sir? So generally the AC seller will arrange the transportation. That is called as composite supply. We have discussed composite supply and mixed supply. So they are indirectly testing composite supply. Sir, if there is a taxable person and there is a recipient, which consists of 2 or more taxable supply, which are naturally bundled. The naturally bundled concept is very important here. So, he is supplying AC plus is, sir, providing the transportation services also. This will be treated as composite supply. In composite supply, 2 supplies will be there, principal supply and the ancillary supply. Even for the ancillary supply, the rate of principal supply will be applicable. So I have to be very careful with regard to the rate. Look at here, man. If you are selling AC, if you are selling parts of the AC, if you are selling accessories except stabilizer, even though stabilizer are also goods, the rate of stabilizer is something different. 6%, 6%, 12% is the AC rate. Services, man. If you are providing services, sir, 9%, 9%, 18%, the services is for AC services. Whereas freight, when you are transporting from one place to another, 6%, 6%, 6%. Sir, what is the principal supply? Selling AC is the principal supply. What is the ancillary supply? Transportation is the ancillary supply. For this transportation, even the rate of AC will be applicable. That's what the composite supply is all about. Am I right, sir? Super, sir. Value of goods 4 lakh separately given. Value of freight charge separately in the above invoice. Whether you are separately charging, does not separately charging, does not matter. For this entire 5 lakh, same AC rate will be applicable. That's what step number or point number 1. Intra-state supply of repairing services. Somewhere AC is not working. This guy has gone and done the repairing services, not the rate of goods. Wherein, apart from charging service charge, cost of part or space provided to customer is also charged, and consideration for the same is separately mentioned in the invoices. That means at the time of providing repairing services, the service component charges is 3 lakh and value of parts or spares component in invoice is 50,000. That means they sold even the spare parts also. Here a student should determine whether this is a composite supplier, mixed supplier, separate supplier. In the sense means, if you are treating it as a composite supply, then my dear lovable students, entire 3,50,000 will be liable to tax at the service rate. If you are treating this as a mixed supply, then sir, it will be taxable at the highest rate. If you are treating it as a separate supply, then it should be taxable at the separate rate. That is a rate applicable for the services and a rate applicable for the spare parts. Sir, all this discussion, the backbone is whether it is naturally bundled or not. Naturally bundled or not. So my dear lovable students, what is that naturally bundled theory? Sir, composite supply means a supply made by a taxable person. Yes, this guy is a taxable person. To a recipient, yes, there is a recipient. Consisting of two or more taxable supply of goods or services or both, or any combination thereof, which are naturally bundled. This naturally bundled is only going to determine whether the supply is a composite supply or not, supplied in the conjunction with each other in the ordinary course of business, one of which is a principal supply. You tell me, sir, what is your stand? It may be wrong or right. Whether providing services and providing parts are composite supply or a separate supply. Separate supply, because there is no naturally bundled in it. Am I right, sir? Sir, if I am selling the AC, sir, in the course of sales, I have to transport it to the customer's location. For that, I am giving the transportation. But my dear lovable students, here, I can, without supplying spare parts, I can provide the AC services. Am I right, sir? If any AC parts has gone, then only I have to sell the parts. But here it is not like that. It is naturally bundled. In the sense means, if I don't provide the transportation services, customer sometimes will not buy the AC at all. Customer is saying that you have to deliver the AC in my home premises. In my home, you have to install it also. So which are what bundle? Naturally bundled. So separate rate you are supposed to apply for this. Superman, third adjustment. In order to enhance their sale and to clear the stock of old model of AC, Gst Enterprises made combo offers to customer, wherein if customer purchase an AC along with a stabilizer, if you are purchasing AC plus, same is offered at a combo price of 20,000. Put together 20,000 they are going to sell, as against the original price of 30,000. Before a offer, AC was at 22 and stabilizer was at 8,000. If these are purchased what? Separately. During October 25, Gst Enterprises has made interstate supply of 10 number of such combo product. What is the value of supply? 20,000 into 10, 2 lakh. This is the value of supply. There is no doubt about it. But the only problem is at what rate this has to be taxed. This has to be taxed at AC rate or stabilizer rate, whichever is higher, because this is mixed supply, my dear lovable students. Sir, these are not naturally bundled. These are not naturally. So with regard to mixed supply, this is a point you are supposed to recall. Mixed supply means two or more individual supply of goods or services or any combination thereof, made in conjunction with each other by a taxable person for a single price. Yes, 20,000 is a single price. Where such supply does not constitute a composite supply. Yes, this supply is not a composite supply. So it should be taxable at the rate of either AC or stabilizer, whichever is higher. The last one, purchased. That means purchased means it's not the details of outward supply, it is the details of inward supply. For the first two questions, separate table has been given. From here onwards, you have to pick that, sir, what and all are outward supply and what and all are inward supply. Business class AC air ticket for intra-state travel from Guwahati Airport, Assam to Dibrugarh Airport within Assam. For its exclusive employee relating to business of the concern. Yes, sir, I can take ITC, sir. Because air travel is not blocked credit, only aircraft is blocked credit. Am I right? Basic airfare was 40,000 and airline charges GST of 2.5% HCGST and 2.5% is GST on basic freight in case of same is applicable. So 40,000 into 2.5% comes to 1,000 rupees CGST I would have paid and 1,000 rupee SGST I would have paid. Then this 2,000 can be taken as ITC. These are the additional information. All the figures mentioned above are exclusive of taxes. In respect of few of the invoice relating to last year, 24-25, involving ITC of CGST 20,000, SGST 20,000, IGST 80,000 was not taken earlier. Gst Enterprise now want to avail credit in respect of such invoice in the current month. What is the current month? We are calculating for which month? October. Sir, as we all know that, sir, there is a time limit under 16 subsection 4 for availment of ITC. The maximum time limit is 30th November of the succeeding financial year or date of filing the annual return, whichever is earlier. Am I right, sir? After November, sir, October, November, December, we are in the month of October because we are going to calculate for the month of October. We are having still time limit because the last date is 30th of what? So for this 20,000, 20,000 and 80,000, since ITC has not been taken in the last year, since it is within 16 subsection 4 time limit, happily we can claim what man ITC. Rate of GST applicable. This is where the real game for AC and all 6612%, services 9918%, stabilizer 9918%, for freight 6612%. Calculate the amount of minimum CGST, SGST, IGST tax payable in cash by Gino Enterprises for the month of October. Working note should form part of your answer. This is a past, sir, May 2023 question, my dear lovable students. I'm coming to one by one. Please be with me and get the full explanation. Step number 1, you have to tell me what is step number 1. Sales details. Sir, first I'm going back to the question. Sir, point number 1, value of goods is how much lakh? 4 lakh. Goods means what? AC. What is the rate of AC? What is the rate of AC? 6%, 6%, 12%. Is the supply intrastate supply or interstate supply? That means, sir, for 4 lakh, 6%. Calculator, 4 lakh into 6%. 24,000, my dear lovable students. That's why CGST 24,000. Same SGST 24,000. Are you comfortable with value of goods? Come on, when in the same bill, one more amount was there, 1 lakh. That supply is a what supply? Composite supply. If the supply is a composite supply, rate of the principal supply will be applicable. So value of freight, man, 1 lakh. Again, same 6%. 1 lakh into 6%, 6,000. 1 lakh into 6%, 6,000. That's it, man. First adjustment we have pakka taken care of. Number 2, intrastate supply of repairing services. My dear lovable students, for servicing the AC, how much you have charged? 3 lakh. That's what? For value of service component, 3 lakh. Sir, what is the rate of GST for services? 9%. So 3 lakh into 9%, 27,000, 27,000. And that service is a intrastate supply. That's why it is CGST and SGST. Comfortable? Whereas for this 50,000, this is not a composite supply. This is an individual supply. Then for the spare parts component, 50,000 rupees, my dear lovable students. Sir, what is the rate applicable? 6%. Because, sir, for the parts and accessories, 6%. Calculator, man. 50,000 into 6% comes to 3,000 and 3,000. Are you comfortable? That's it, man. The second bill also comes to an end. The third one, sir, you have sold what plus what? AC plus stabilizer. Selling AC plus stabilizer in a combo offer for a single price is a what supply? Mixed supply. Then highest rate of tax should be applicable. Sir, how many sets you sold? 10 sets. Sir, with a price of 20,000. So 20,000 into 10. That's why value of the combo offer 2 lakh. Sir, it's a dash state supply, interstate supply. Since it is an interstate supply, sir, dash should be collected. I have to go and check the rate, my dear lovable students. Sir, you have sold AC. What is the IGST rate for AC? 12%. Even you have sold stabilizer also. How much? Oh my God. Then it will be taxable at the rate of 18%. So 2 lakh into 18% comes to 36,000. These are the output tax collected. What a very level question, right, sir? In exam, really, you have to think and you have to pick the data only through practice that you will be getting, man. This is the CGST, this is the SGST, and this is the IGST. I believe that you are able to appreciate. Step number 2, there is no specific purchase details has been given. Only, sir, air ticket details has been given. It is part and parcel of the expenses. So the purchases are nil. With regard to expenses, airfare, we already computed 1,000 rupees CGST paid, 1,000 rupees SGST paid. That can be taken as, come on, man, come to the, sir, net ITC. They already said that there are some ITC pending in the last year for which still 16 subsection 4 time limit are alive because 30th November of the succeeding financial year or date of filing the annual return, whichever is earlier. Annual return has to be filed as per section 44. 44 is the what return? Annual return. You tell me in a year how many quarters are there? 4 quarters. That's why annually 4 quarters will come. 44 is the annual return. 31st of December is the last date to file the annual return. We can happily assuming that by this month, anyway, they will not file the what return? Annual return. And still we are having one more month time. After that month only government will say that no, you can't take ITC. That's why it is November. No, because sir, 30th November of the succeeding financial year. We are standing only in the month of October. So in October, they will not say no. They will say no only in the month of November. What a clarity, sir. That means this 20 and this 20 and this 80 can happily be taken as opening ITC. Add ITC on purchases, nothing is there. Add ITC on expense, that air travel, 1,000 is there. So 21,000, 21,000 and 80,000. With God's grace, there is no RCM adjustment and all there. There is no outward RCM and there is no inward RCM. So there is no minus plus game and all not there. GST payable as per step number 1. What is GST payable? 60, 36,000. Comfortable? Less ITC, man. You have to go and check the ITC table. Sir, are you having IGST liability? Yes. So 80,000 rupees. Are you having IGST payable? So this out of this 80,000, I will be utilizing 36,000 to knock off the IGST payable. That's what 36,000 IGST payable. So 80,000 minus 36,000 comes to. Still 44,000 is there. I can utilize in any manner, any proportion. But still I will be checking that I don't want to pay to the central government. Let me pay to my state government. Am I right, sir? So my dear lovable students, what is the amount payable to central government? 60,000. That means, sir, how much is the amount which I am liable to get from central government? 21,000. So from this 60, I will anyway knock off 21,000. Able to appreciate? So 60,000 minus 21,000 means I am liable to pay 39,000 to the central government. Till 39,000 I am having a, yes sir. So I can, if I want, knock off, sir, 39,000 against the CGST and I can make the CGST payable 0. That's how you are done in the first question. Am I right? But in this question, this 44,000 has been bifurcated between CGST and SGST because in any manner, you can do in any way whatever you want. Here, they are loving both central government and state government in the same manner. 50% they are loving to central government and 50% they are loving to state government. Sir, they are supporting both central and state. First, ITC of IGST should be utilized in full. First, IG against IGST payable, then against CGST and SGST liability in a manner to minimize the cash outflow. So, I have, sir, made the IGST 0. Because out of total IGST credit of 80,000, I knocked off 36,000. From that, I have knocked off 22,000. Again, I have knocked off. Who has become 0? IGST, both credit has become 0, payable has become 0. So, GST payable after IGST set off is 60,000 minus 22. 38,000. 60,000 minus 22. I am having CGST credit and SGST credit of 21 and 21,000. This is a balance credit available after set off man. So the minimum GST payable should be 17,000 and 17,000 as CGST and as SGST. That's what question number 2. These notes are very important. Please read these notes and please write these notes also in exam. Since this question is good question, I'm reading the notes. You also read along with me. 2 or more supply naturally bundled in the ordinary course of business of a supplier for a single consideration, then rate of principal supply will be applicable in all supply. In the above case, value of goods supplied along with transport service. So principal supply rate will be applied for what charges also. Value of part is not naturally bundled and also separate price is available. So rate applicable to the part will be applicable. 2 or more supplies not naturally bundled in the ordinary course of business of supplier for a single price, then highest rate out of supplies is applicable on all supply. In the cases above, 18% is applicable. A registered person can avail ITC, which is utilized in the course of business of supplier. So, air ticket purchase use in the business can avail. Time limit for availment of ITC is 30th November of the succeeding financial year or date of filing the annual return, whichever is earlier. Still, 30th November has not came. We are only in the month of. So happily we can take ITC, my dear lovable students. This is going to be the first 10-mark question. You tell me, by applying SPENT, S-P-E-N-T, S stands for sales details, P stands for purchase details, E stands for expenses detail, N stands for net ITC, and T stands for tax payable. We can happily solve it, man. You know, now itself we have solved 3 questions in our trot. Sir, before I solve to question number 4, you know what I will be expecting from you? Take a 10 to 12 minutes of time, pause the video and try question number 3 by your own and come back. Yes, sir. I believe that you would have done question number 3. And I'm moving into question number 4. Again, a very good question, conceptual question. Ashima Limited man, a registered dealer in Patna, they are in Bihar, that's only we want, is engaged in various types of supply. Goods they are supplying, services they are supplying. Company provided the company, yes sir, it is limited. Following details for the month of January. That means we are going to calculate the GST payable for the month of January. Outward supply of goods paid during the month to various non-related person. What is the highlight of non-related person? SRS condition. There should be a supply of goods or services or both. Such supply should be to an unrelated person and price should be the sole consideration. If all the 3 conditions has been satisfied, transaction value is equal to assessable value. For that transaction value only, you are liable to pay the GST. That's why market value has been given, transaction value has been given. This market value is just for confusion purpose they have given. Transaction value is what you are supposed to take. In the state of Bihar, intra-state, that means we are supposed to collect CGST and SGST. To other states, that is interstate, total 1 lakh, IGST should be collected, man. As given in the particular column is the amount. Leave it. Services, it's not goods, services. By way of warehousing of potato chips. Sir, warehousing of potato is an agriculture produce exempt from tax. Whereas potato is taxable. Interstate transaction. This is interstate transaction, man. So IGST should be collected. Am I right, sir? Stock transfer without consideration. That means they are talking about Schedule 1, deemed supply, to its branch in Gaya, Bihar. Sir, where we are situating? Bihar. They are also in Bihar. Branch as a separate GSTN. That means they are what person? Distinct person. For convenience of accounting and billing. Value under section 15 of the CGST Act is 20,000. They themselves given the value of supply. That means supply of goods or services or both between related person or distinct person made in the course or furtherance of business, even without consideration, should be treated as supply. For that, this 20,000 should be taken as the value of supply. Come on, sir. Intrastate, inward supply. Nicely they are talking about the inward supply. Till now they were talking about the outward supply. They set a mood. So you will be having read in the same, sir, category of various services for use in the course or furtherance of business. Total 30 invoices, man. For this 30 invoices, we are entitled to take ITC. This is the amount. We have to calculate the ITC. These are additional information. If this additional information data is not available, CA students' life would be very, very happy. All the amount given above are exclusive of taxes. Okay, fine. During the course of arranging and filing document, the accountant of Ashima Limited observed that an invoice of 30,000 excluding tax. There is one invoice, 30,000 rupees. Dated 2/12/2025. 2/12 means which month? December month. The invoice is December month. Was omitted to be recorded in the books of accounts and no payment was made against the same till the end of January. Ayyo, one of the bill we have not made the payment. This invoice was issued by Mr. Mukesh of Patna. Sir, Mukesh means individual from whom Ashima Limited has taken car on rental basis. That means slightly they are talking about RCM. Rent-a-cab services they are talking. Invoice included cost of fuel also. Intrastate transaction is what the discussion. So we have to just go back and quickly recall the provisions of the renting of motor vehicle concept, RCM. Renting of motor vehicle, this chart should come to your brain. The person liable to pay tax under the renting of motor vehicle service. First of all, let me ask you one question. Is a service provider going to collect tax at the rate of 12%? Then always FCM. But if the GST is payable at 5%, check this. Is the supplier a body corporate? Then always FCM, because supplier itself is very strong. That's why question specifically highlighted that the invoice was issued by Mr. Mukesh. Mukesh is an individual. That means that guy is not a body corporate. Super, sir. That guy is not a body corporate. Now, is supplier is other than body corporate? Yes, supplier is other than body corporate, because Mukesh is other than body corporate. Then you have to check this. If the supplier is other than body corporate, is a recipient is a body corporate? Yes, that limited is a body corporate. Then it is reverse charge. Person liable to pay GST is the recipient. That means for this bill, Ashima is the person. Ashima Limited is the person who are liable to pay tax on reverse charge basis. Am I right, sir? So my dear lovable students, is this inward RCM or outward RCM? Inward RCM or outward RCM? Inward RCM. We received a bill. For this inward RCM, there is a concept called as time of supply. That means recipient is the person who are liable to pay tax on reverse charge basis. Sir, we are having section 12, time of supply of goods. Are you remembering? Section 13, time of supply of services. My dear lovable students, as per section 13, 13.1 is there, 13.2 is there, 13.3 is there, 13.4 is there, 13.5 is there, and 13.6 is there. 13.1 is a liability for payment of tax arises at time of supply. 13.2 forward charge mechanism. 13.3 reverse charge mechanism. In 13.3 reverse charge mechanism, generally in goods we said that date of receipt of goods varadu. The same here, date of receipt of services. Date of receipt of services will not come. Then date of payment, that means once you make the payment to the service provider, you are supposed to pay tax to the department. Question specifically said that accountant was omitted to be recorded in the books of accounts and no payment was made against the same. Till now, no payment has been made. That means date of payment has not came. Or 61st day from the supplier's invoice, whichever is earlier. Since, my dear lovable students, no payment has been done and date of invoice is equal to 2/12/2025, 61st day from the supplier's invoice. 61st day from the supplier's invoice will be, let the December, after December, January over, 1st of February. So 1st of February is the due date for payment of tax under reverse charge basis. Am I right, sir? We are calculating the tax liability for the month of January only. So, my dear lovable students, when you are determining the tax payable of January, why are you considering a liability which is going to be arise in the month of February where a level adjustment? Point number 1. Point number 2. This is for rent-a-cab services. If you are purchasing a motor vehicle, you are not liable to take ITC. If you are taking a motor vehicle for rent, for that also, sir, ITC is blocked. Renting or hiring of motor vehicle are blocked credit. Hence, even in the next month, even though you have paid tax under RCM, for that you are not liable to take what, man? ITC. What a brilliant, fantastic, outstanding adjustments. Rate of GST applicable on various supplies are car rental services 2.5, 2.55. Put it on. Dustbin. Just now we have taken care. All other inward and outward supply only one single rate 9, 9 and 18. No opening balance of input tax credit existed on the balance sheet of the balance month. Thank you. Out of 30 invoices. What they are talking about? They are talking about this 30. Okay, sir. Point number 4, 30 invoices. 6 invoices with taxable value amounting to 1,50,000 were e-invoices. Have you heard about e-invoices? In which IRN was not mentioned. Sir, in e-invoice, if IRN is not mentioned, it is not a valid invoice. Possession of valid tax paying document are required to take ITC. That means even though 6,50,000 rupees is the expenses, out of 1,50,000 bills are ineligible, only for 5 lakh we are entitled to take ITC. For that 5 lakh we have to calculate the ITC. 5 lakh is only the expense amount. Am I right, sir? However, all the invoices were duly reflected in GSTR 2B for the month of January. Since the suppliers have filed their GSTR 1, since the suppliers have furnished their GSTR 1, it has been reflected in GSTR 2B for the remaining 5 lakh rupees. So we are entitled to claim ITC for the 5 lakh. Even they have slightly tested the returns chapter also. Subject to information given above, conditions necessary for ITC were complied with. Ashima Limited is not engaged in renting of car business. That means they are not in the similar line of business. Since you are not in the similar line of business, whatever GST you have paid for taking the car on rental basis is a blocked credit. You are required to calculate the amount of net GST liability payable in cash by Ashima Limited for the month of January. Brief notes for treatment given for each item should form part of your answer is what the discussion. Can we quickly knock it off? What is step number 1? Sales details. My dear lovable students, we are going to talk with the sales details. Come on, man. Number 1. What are the sales details, man? The first one. Have the outward supply of goods. Which value you will take? Market value or transaction value? That's what outward supply to the non-related person, man. Transaction value is 4 lakh. What is the rate of GST for goods? 9%. So please help me. 4 lakh into 9% comes to 36,000 CGST, 36,000 SGST. Am I right, sir? Next one, man. Outward supply only, but it is an interstate. I will not take the market value. I will take the transaction value. How much lakh? 1 lakh. For that, IGST will be 18%. 1 lakh into 18% comes to 18,000. Comfortable? Services by way of warehousing of potato chips. It is not taxable. It is exempted, man. Sir, it is not exempted. It is taxable, man. That means for this 5 lakh, we are supposed to collect what, man? Tax. This is what state transaction? Interstate. IGST should be collected at the rate of. So 5 lakh into 18% comes to 90,000 rupees is the amount of tax. Stock transfer to its own branch. Sir, since they are distinct person, without consideration, schedule 1 will be applicable. 20,000 rupees value they have given, intra-state supply. So for this 20,000, sir, at the rate of 9% and 9%, total output tax to be collected is 37,800, 37,800 and 1,08,000, man. That's it with regard to step number 1. Are you feeling comfortable? Step number 2 is the purchase details. Actually, we purchased for 6,50,000, which comprise of 30 invoice. In that 30 invoice, sir, 6 invoices are e-invoice. For those 6 invoices, there is no IRN. Then that invoices are not valid tax paying document. Put it on. Then this 1,50,000, we are not entitled to take ITC. So 6,50,000 minus 1,50,000 comes to only for the 5 lakh. We would have paid, sir, entitled to take the ITC. What is the ITC rate? 9% and 9%. So 5 lakh into 9%, 45,000. 5 lakh into 9%, 45,000. That's it with regard to purchase details. For expense details, actually GST under car on rent. 2 points you can highlight in the answer. Even though it is RCM, the liability for payment of tax is not in the month of January, but is only in the month of February. So in the current month, no need to include that. Point number 1. Point number 2, sir, since Ashima Limited is not engaged in the car renting business, whatever GST they have paid will be a blocked credit, cannot be taken as what, man? ITC, that also you can write. So expense detail, it's an ineligible ITC. First of all, you have not paid at all till now. You are going to pay only in the month of next month. Even if you paid in this month, you are not entitled to claim it as ITC. That's what step number 4, net ITC, my dear lovable students. There is no opening ITC details given. Add ITC on purchases, which is this 45,000 and 45,000. There is no ITC on expenses, dash. Total comes to 45,000 and 45,000 GST payable. Sir, what is the GST payable in step number 1? In step number 1, our total output tax was 37,800 and 1,08,000. Am I right? Inside this 37,800 and 1,08,000, is there any outward RCM or inward RCM? No. There is no RCM. Confusions are there. So, entire 37,800 are entitled to set off against the balance available in the electronic credit ledger. Entire 37,800 and 1,08,000 are entitled to set off against the balance available in the electronic credit ledger. Am I right? There is no need to again rewrite. You can directly start set off. These are the credit available. There is no IGST. Only you are having SGST and CGST. Sir, against this 37,800, 45,000 can be set off. So calculator, 45,000 credit minus 37,800 comes to balance. That 7,200 credit can be set off against the IGST payable. Happily, the same rule here also applicable. Out of this 45,000, 37,800 you can set off. Balance 7,200 you can set off against the IGST. So there is no CGST, there is no SGST. Only IGST payable of 93,600 is there. This notes, actually, I love it. As per section 15. What is section 15? Value of supply. In case of transaction between what person? Unrelated person, where price is the what consideration? Value of supply shall be what value? Basically, sir, if SRS condition satisfied, transaction value is equal to assessable value. Market value is irrelevant in the present case. Put it on. Taxable, since services by way of warehousing of only cereal, pulses, fruits and vegetables are exempted. Are you remembering? This is warehousing of potato chips liable to GST. As per section 7, subsection 1, clause C, read with schedule 1 of the CGST Act. Oh, basic chapter, supply chapter 7, subsection 1, clause C, read with schedule 1. Transaction between distinct person, even though without consideration, constitutes supply. As per section 25 of the CGST Act, section 25, multiple registration of the person are treated as distinct person. In the present case, stock transfer of branch within the state having separate registration is treated as supply under 7 subsection 1 clause C. As per 9.3, 9353 is RCM. Read with notification, service by way of renting of motor vehicle by a person other than body corporate. That's what we have checked that, sir, whether the supplier of the motor vehicles is other than body corporate. Yes. To a recipient who is a body corporate. Yes, the recipient is a rate of GST being 5% because 12% na RCM itself will not be applicable, always FCM. Chart, are you able to appreciate? Is taxable under RCM. In the present case, time of supply of such service is 1st February, being date of payment or date immediately following 60 days since the issue of invoice by the supplier. That means one thing sure, for this, it is RCM. The tax liability has to be paid by the recipient. For that, you have to check the time of supply. Time of supply is date of invoice or 61st day from the supplier's invoice, whichever is earlier. Since the time of supply of renting of motor car service in the given case does not fall in when? Because the time of supply falls only in tax liability on the same, does not arise in the set month. So when you are calculating tax liability for January, please don't consider this. Look, RCM and time of supply, they are linking and they are testing. Further, ITC on renting of motor car service received is blocked since the recipient Ashima Limited is not in the same line of business. So next month, even though you paid this amount from your pocket, that cannot be taken as ITC Kana because it's a blocked credit. As per section 16, read with rule 36 sub rule 4 of the CGST rules, ITC can be only availed with reference to those invoice, the details of which are filed by respective supplier in GSTR 1 and made available in GSTR 2B. That means supplier should furnish their GSTR 1 and those invoices should be reflected in GSTR 2B. As per rule 48 sub rule 5, any invoice issued by a person to whom e-invoice is applicable without IRN is not a valid invoice and recipient cannot avail ITC on the basis of. Therefore, in the present case, Ashima Limited cannot avail ITC with respect to invoice valued rupees 1,50,000 out of 6,50,000. What a beautiful question, my dear lovable students. With one question, how many dots they are testing? Really, if you are revising or doing this question, entire GST will be revised. This is the easiest way to revise the entire GST, like RCM, like FCM, sir, like time of supply, place of supply, value of supply, every components they are testing. In slot number 1, we will be solving one more question, that is question number 5. You know what is my expectation from you to solve question number 5. Pause the video and take your 10 to 12 minutes of time. Redo question number 4 by your own within that time limit. Come and we will solve with question number 5. Yes, sir. I hope that you would have done question number 4 and I'm moving into the last question in this slot. Very easy question. Zion Limited, a GST registered supplier located in Ranchi, Jharkhand. What is the speciality of Ranchi, Jharkhand? Mahendra Singh Dhoni's place. Right, sir. Is engaged in the manufacturing of washing machine and mixer grinder. Washing machine and mixer grinder. It provides you the details of various activities undertaken during the month of September as follows. So all the details are September month. Outward supply made during the month. This is the outward supply. Within Jharkhand, that means intra-state supply, you are supposed to collect CGST and SGST. Outside Jharkhand, interstate supply, you are supposed to collect purchases made during the month. These are the purchases made. Purchase of raw material from registered dealer within Jharkhand. That means intra-state purchases, CGST and SGST would have been paid at the time of purchase, which include material worth rupees 2 lakh, purchase from Mr. Krishna, registered person who's paying tax under composition scheme. If the supplier is composition dealer, he is not supposed to collect output tax. That means 7 lakh minus 2 lakh. Only for 5 lakh, we would have, sir, paid the tax. That only amounting to ITC. Bus purchased. Is the seating capacity of the bus more than 13 passenger, less than 13 passenger? More than 13 passenger, hence it is not a blocked credit. Purchase from registered dealer in Tata Nagar, Jharkhand. Bus used to ferry means transport. It's 25 workers to and from factory. 25 workers means they're indirectly saying that the seating capacity of the bus is more than 30. That means you are entitled to take ITC. Every motor vehicle is not blocked credit. Only motor vehicle having a seating capacity of up to 13 passengers, including driver, are blocked credit. Assume the rate of GST applicable on various supplies. Composition supplies they have given. Bus they have given. Raw material they have given. Washing machine and mixer grinder they have given. Opening balance of ITC, CGST, SGST and IGST given. They came to notes. All figures mentioned above are exclusive of tax. Both inward and outward supply within the state of jargon are to be considered as intra-state supply, and outside the jargon are to be treated as interstate supply. Ennaya neenga. Subject to information given above, all other conditions necessary for availing ITC have been fulfilled. Calculate the amount of net minimum GST payable in cash by Xeon Limited for the month of September. Brief and suitable notes should form part of your answer. Nothing is there. If we take the same question as question number 1, we would have felt some difficulty. But after doing 4 questions, we'll be feeling so much comfortable, man. I'm moving into Xeon Limited questions answer. Sir, please help me with the figures. Step number 1 is the sales details. Intra-state outward supply of goods. Tell me what is the details of intra-state outward supply? 24 lakh. For that goods, what is the rate given in the question? 9%. 9%, man. Come on, calculator. 24 lakhs into 9%, 2,16,000. And 24 lakhs into 9%, 2,16,000. Interstate outward supply of goods, total 5 lakh, they have given in the question. For this 5 lakh, IGST rate is 18%. That's what 5 lakh into 18% comes to 90,000. That's it with regard to 2,16,000, 2,16,000 and 90,000. Any problem to anyone? Coming to purchase details. Sir, they have purchased raw material. What is the total amount of purchase? 7 lakh. Inside 7 lakh, 2 lakh rupees purchase are from composition dealer. So remove that 2 lakh. So balance 5 lakh. For that purchases, what is the rate they have given? Raw material 6% and 6%. Is it an intrastate purchase or interstate purchase? So 6% and 6%. 5 lakh into 6%, 30,000. 5 lakh into 6%, 30,000, man. Sir, if you want, you can show bus as purchase, or if you want, you can show bus as expense also. There is no fight between where to show, because these are our format only. Okay. Bus purchase from dealer in jargon used to ferry 25 workers to and from factory. Total value of the bus is 12 lakh. Happily, you can claim ITC on it, man. For bus, it is 14% and 14%. Calculator, 12 lakh into 14%. 12 lakh into 14%. 1,68,000. Total 1,98,000 and 1,98,000 is the total ITC. Since I have incorporated bus as purchases, there is no expenses. Otherwise, you can show if you want in expenses also. What is a net ITC, sir? Is there any opening balance of ITC given? Yes. 25,000 and 95,000. Am I right, sir? Add ITC on purchases, man. 1,98,000 and, sorry, ITC on purchases, man. Total 30,000 for raw material and 1,68,000 for bus. So 30,000 plus 1,68,000 comes to 1,98,000. That is the ITC for expenses. 1,98,000 and 1,98,000. Am I total right? Is 1,98,000 and 1,98,000? They have shown it as purchase and expenses separately. Okay, man. But both the table are in same. Okay, right. You can show this as what, man? Expenses. Then total will change. Am I right, sir? So total here 20 plus 30 plus 1,68,000. Total 2,18,000 is the total CGST. 2,03,000 is the total SGST and 95,000 is the total IGST. Sir, can I do the GST payable? What is the total GST payable as per step number 1? 2,16,000 of CGST, 2,16,000 of SGST, 90,000 of IGST. Is there any IGST credit? Take that 95,000 and knock off that 95,000, sir, against the IGST payable to the extent of automatically IGST payable will become 0. Still you are having IGST credit of 5,000. You can set off against CGST or SGST any manner, any proportion. I am set off entire 5,000 against the SGST payable. So my dear lovable students, 2,16,000 minus 5,000 comes to 2,11,000. Same 2,60,000 அப்படியே carry forward. Against this 2,16,000 you can knock off 2,18,000. Still 2,000 to be what forward? Carry forward. And against this 2,16,000 already knocked off 5,000. Then 2,11,000. Against this 2,11,000, 2,03,000 sir knock off. Still we are having payable of 8,000. This assessee want to pay to the state government. So minimum GST payable in cash is 8,000. My dear lovable students, in this answer alone, please show this bus as an expenses. Then automatically here 30 will be the ITC for the purchases. And 1,68,1,68 will be the, this is the total, 1,68,000 and 1,68,000 will be the total for the expenses. Very easy, straightforward question. Nothing is there. Just you spent. S stands for sales details. P stands for purchase details. E stands for expenses details. N stands for net ITC. And T stands for, with this our set number 1, the first 5 questions of computation of GST payable has been comes to an end, my dear lovable students. This is going to be your first question for 10 mark in examination. Redo it, enjoy it, ensure that 10 mark. This will really give you a superb edge over the GST paper.